Hello YouTubes, this is Grimweird coming back at you with more Enigmatica 2 Expert Mod Pack playthrough action for Minecraft 1.12.2. As always, we are joined by our lovely avatar, Zombie Steve. And we are continuing to try and sort of bash and bull our way through some of these magic chapters. We've reached a point in the game where we're sort of just raring to go for in-game, but we got to go back and take care of some of this magic business. So one of the things that's holding us up is we need some thaumium. To be specific, to keep going on Botania, we need to make an elven gateway core. And to make an elven gateway core, we need a celestial altar. And to make a celestial altar, we need a thaumium block, which is 9 thaumium. Now thaumium, if we take a look at that, is made by throwing iron into the Crucible with 5 Precantatio and 5 Terra. Now 5 Terra is relatively simple. If we take a look at that, we can come down here to 5 and see that basically lots of stuff give you 5, including dirt is 5, stone is 5, and there's not a lot of leftover aspects there or essence there to cause a lot of problems, a lot of clogging of the old drains. But if we look at Precantatio, well, that's a bit more complicated. There may be good clean sources of Precantatio that I am unaware of. And to be honest, I'm not going to take the time to mouse over each and every one of these damn things to try and find it. So what I've been doing is I've just been to cycle my enchanting altar back in the day. I would simply just throw, low-level enchants on whatever, piece of garbage armor or like shovels, wooden shovels or stone swords or whatever, just to use up an enchantment and refresh my the available enchantments on my enchantment table. So as we can see here, I've brought a bunch of just leather caps that I got from mobs and various other things that have Precantatio on it. Now the problem with this is that they've got a lot of other crap too, and I'm not exactly sure how things work these days. I think the last Thaumcraft I played, and I didn't play it all that much, was Thaumcraft 2 or 3. But rumor has it that taint can cause all sorts of problems, and that leftover essence can cause all sorts of problems. So what I'm going to try and do here, and we'll see how successful this might be, is I've made another 13 by 13 compact machine, and we're going to go ahead and set up our crucible in here. And as far as I know, this is a pocket dimension, and this pocket dimension, if I cause this to go to hell in a handbasket, I can just write it off. So we're going to hope that that's true, and we're going to sort of set up something here to work on this stuff. And again, I'm not exactly sure how things work these days in Thaumcraft. I think back the last time I played it 4 or 5 years ago, it helped to have little catch basins so that if your cauldron boiled over with nastiness, it wouldn't spread out everywhere. So that's what these holes are going to be for. And then we also probably need to have, and I did not get any, so we're going to have some sort of netherrack or something to heat up our crucible. So let's jump back out and grab that. Don't tell me all my netherrack is stowed. All my netherrack is stowed. One moment, please. So we'll head back to the base and grab some netherrack. And then we'll teleport back to our base, to our new magic tower. And back we go. Alrighty. I always forget something. So we will throw down some netherrack there. And we will, I guess, build this up another layer. And then we will hang our crucible. And we will grab our flint and steel. And we'll throw some water in there. Alright, so now, hopefully, just going to clean this up a bit so it looks a bit nicer. While we're waiting for our water to boil. And it looks like it's boiling, so this is going to probably be a nasty mess, and I'm not exactly sure that I know what I'm doing. Again, it's been like 4 or 5 years since I did anything with Thaumcraft, really, and even then I didn't really go too far in it. But now I think if I drop that in there, and that in there, and then that in there. Whoa. Hey, I got some thaumium. And what I'm not really sure is how much of all this stuff I need. But I'm just going to go for it, and we're going to have a lot of leftover essence here. Whoops. Alright, so we didn't have enough left over for that. Okay, so we are getting there. I shudder to think. I'll go ahead and get one extra here. I may have enough leftover percantatio for another. Yes. Alright, so we got 11. That gives me 9 for the block I need with a couple of spares. There's probably so much leftover viz in there that I don't know what it's going to do, because again, I'm not that familiar with this whole situation. But you know, the bottom line is, if this place turns into a toxic, chaotic, rift-torn mess destroyed by magic, we will simply not come here again. So, let's leave before anything bad happens. Alrighty, so now we can do that. And we also got a quest filled for that. So, Thaumcraft, Thaumium, claim, very nice. It wants us to make all of the armor. Well, let's come back and do that later. A void seed, what the heck is that? don't know. Let's see. I guess I could probably make that. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if I've got it unlocked in the Nomicon yet. Pardon me while I cough. I don't know if I've got the Void Seeds unlocked there yet. I did play around very briefly with trying to do some research. I have tons of observation, as one might expect from scanning everything late game. So I'm feeling pretty good about our observations. However, the theory crafting or whatever from the research table is still sort of spotty. I played around with it a bit and was able to get a few things, but it seems very wasteful because I get a lot of situations where the research table asks me for, to have things like vials of essentia on hand, or things like that, and I don't have them, and so I have to scrap the theory and move on. And because I don't have those options available to me, I sort of have to go where it wills. So I get lots of oromancy stuff and fundamental stuff, but it's hard to target it towards something like alchemy. But that being said, I was able to, after wasting half a stack of paper, I was able to get this, Theory Alchemy. I got one of those on the research table, and now I've got the thaumium ingot, so I can complete that. So that's good, and that opens up this, whatever this is. And it wants me to, I think, do 2 more Theory Alchemies, which is hard to do, but I could try. Can also try getting into this stuff. This is all new to me, so I'm not exactly sure what we need to do there. Again, I've been hesitant because I didn't want to make a mess out of all the excess viz I was going to have lying around. But now that I have a pocket dimension to do that in, if I spray viz all over the place and that turns into a magical wasteland, tainted and warped and chaotic, then I can just not go there anymore and make a new one. So all of this was because I still I'm sort of fixated on trying to close out Botania now, which I know I shouldn't be with all the interactions between these two things, but I at least want to do this Elven Gateway and get some of that done. So we can do Star Metal now, because last episode we did a laser from Industrial Foregoing, and with a blue laser lens, and that has worked out good for us. If we take a look at that, let's see how that's doing. Yeah, so we've got 16 Star Metal ore now, so we've got a bit of that going for us. And that's not too bad because it's only been running for a little while that I've been logged in. So if we go back to the Elven Gateway, we've got Star Metal. I don't think we can do this until we get this. But to get this, we needed Star Metal, which we've got, and this. So this Celestial Altar was sort of the sticking point for me for a lot of things, and the sticking point for that was a thaumium block. And now we have a thaumium block. We have a thaumium block, we have Stardust, we can do a Celestial Altar. So, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and try that out. So we're going to need, reinforced slate. I forgot about that. Alright, and for that we need a blood altar. And for that we need this stuff. We can do all that. We even have 2 demonic wills. Glass lens. Ay caramba. We're back to this problem again. To make a glass lens, or a mirrored glass. Wait a minute. Mirrored glass. To make a glass lens, I need mirrored glass, and to make mirrored glass, I need this. I need apparently this extravaganza. So that's a machine controller, huge item output. Alright, so I'm going to pause recording here. It looks like I can't get away from trying to make this thing. If I can even do this thing, if I have the materials to make this beast. Looks like it ends up being a 5x5, so I can easily find a spot for it. I just gotta look up all of these recipes and see if we can make this. I know I can make some of these things because I had to make some of them for our advanced fabricator or whatever it is that we have back in the base that we use to make titanium. But some of this other stuff, I do not know if we have that or not, and have the mats for that. So I'm going to pause the recording here, and if possible, I'm going to gather all of the materials necessary to make this beast, and if we have them, we will set it up and make it. Be right back. Okay, I'm looking through a lot of this stuff. It appears that I need to unlock more things in the Thaumcraft book. So for instance, if we try and take a look at making the core block of the arcane crafting engine, it requires that we make complex arcane thing, which we can't apply the recipe for and can only make through the arcane crafting engine. Same thing with this. Apparently the only way we can make this to make an arcane crafting engine is to make it in an arcane crafting engine, and I think that's because this thing is not opened in our Thaumcraft book yet. So probably what we need to do, I probably need to do a lot more poking around in the Thaumonomicon, trying to unlock things, and then hopefully a new recipe will be made available for us to just craft these things in a way other than using an arcane crafting engine. So of all the stuff that I'm looking at here, it appears as if probably the sticking point is, for getting further into Botania, for getting further into Astral Sorcery by making this bad boy, for getting anywhere, I think I just need to buckle down on Thaumcraft and start trying to open more of this stuff and start trying to unlock things in the Thaumonomicon. So that's going to involve me doing more stuff. Again, I sort of don't really know what I'm doing here. Well, this is supposedly complete, so we can try that. This study an animated construct. Don't know what that means. Probably it means taking my thermometer and studying a golem. There are those golems that spawn out in the world, the ice golems and whatnot. So I can fly around at night with my thermometer out and see if studying one of them will get me this. And that might unlock that. That's under fundamentals. Under oromancy, a plank lesser focus is an ordovis crystal thrown in with this stuff. That should be pretty doable. So I can try that, and that might unlock more of this stuff. For alchemy, I could try this. This seems like something that's doable. I might make a mess doing it, but it seems like it's doable. For this, I have to go back to my table and try and bust out some more theory alchemy research. I could try that. It's probably going to take me a bunch of ink and paper, but I can throw a lot of ink and paper at that and bowl my way through it. Magic tallow, throwing rotten flesh into the crucible with a little ignis. That's doable. Let's see, what do we got in artifice? Alright, artifice is apparently done. Aha, and there is this beast. So here's the recipe we were looking for. So maybe we can do these now. These are the 3 recipes we were looking for. And maybe they are open now. Let's see what happens if we pull this up. Aha, that has given us the tab to now do these recipes on the arcane table. So that was the problem. I didn't have that opened yet. So now I can make these, and that is good. So maybe we're not as stuck as I thought we were. Arcane lamp is complete. That's cool. Redstone relay. What do I need to do with that redstone torch? So just have one in my inventory. Yes, complete. Alright, so that's done. Arcane ear, I need a note block. This I need a piston and a redstone. I should be able to do that. Let's see, piston. Very nice. Redstone block. Yes. What the heck is a note block, and can I make one? Sure. Don't know what it is, but I got one. So now if we look here, that's complete. If I look here, that is complete. What's this? We need a chest and a hopper. And here we need obsidian, nether brick, and blaze rod. That's all doable. Why didn't you guys tell me this was this easy? Of course we don't have a hopper. How do I not have hopper trained in here? Okay, and what else did we need? We needed obsidian and we needed nether brick and we needed a blaze rod. Complete. Complete. An air vis crystal, and that's complete. All right, air vis crystal, we got that. Oh, it is consuming them. I guess that's an important safety tip. Workbench, that seems important. Triple meat threat. Alright, well let's just keep busting through this stuff. Okay, we've got that. We need to hit the table for some Gullimancy and Artifice, so I can hit the research table. We need the recharge pedestal for that guy. Alright, that looks like about as far as we can make it through Artifice. What do we got going on here? We need a feather and a file of air essentia. Not exactly sure how to make a file of air essentia. I did make some files a moment ago. Oops, pardon me. Let's see, I did make a file a little bit ago, but I'm not sure how to fill it. So this is what we want. Doesn't say much about filling it. I think I need one of those thingamabobs. I think I need some contraption, one of those Viz smelteries or whatever. Let's see if we go Essentia. An Essentia smeltery. I think I need one of those, and I don't think I can make one yet. Alright, well, we'll leave that one alone for right now. I don't know that I need any of the rest of this stuff right this second, so that's okay. And that's the last category. Alright, so I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to go try to maybe scan a golem out in the field at night. See if that will work for this. And I'm going to try and make one of these bad boys. That doesn't look too hard. There's that recharge pedestal that we need to get. We definitely need a workbench charger for the compact machines or the advanced machine, whatever it is that does this, that does that stuff, but we may not need that quite yet if we can open up some other stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to go try and play around and get a bit more done on this. I'm going to do some research on how to get a file of Essentia, and I will be back momentarily. Okay, just a brief note to remind myself when I watch this back a couple years from now. I was looking at paper and I was a little worried because I know I don't have a ton of sugar cane available, and we don't have rice, I don't think, here, or if so, I haven't seen any rice generating in the world. So I was a little worried about, pumping out tons and tons and tons of paper for research in the thaumaturgy research thing. But then I remembered that I do have tons and tons of sawdust because of our hunt for rosin in the sawmill. And then another good thing is that in this recipe you can use the thermal expansion. In fact, the sawdust is from Thermal Foundation, and the portable tanks from Thermal will act as a bucket, allowing you to get multiple uses out. So that's nice. So what I can do is just this, and then I have a sink here that I use for filling this up. And I can just plop that down. And then pull that out of my ME system. And just make a stack at a time that way. So I think because I'm just sort of eager to bust through this, I think that what I'm going to do is just go whole hog on the research. I've sort of been tiptoeing around it because I didn't want to use up a bunch of resources. But I think I understand the basics of what needs to happen on that research table now. And so I think that I can just brute force my way through getting a lot of the research that we need, as long as I'm willing to just use up a ton of paper to do so. And I am. So I'm going to go ahead and make a bunch of stacks of paper here. And then I believe I also have... How am I doing on ink? I still got tons of ink sac too, so I'll take some of that with me to refill my quill and ink. And so I'm going to again jump off camera and do a bunch of research, and then we'll take a look and see what we can accomplish then. So I think now that I've sort of got a better feel for what's going on in the Thaumanomicon, and once I now realize, yes, some of the reasons that these things were looking so hard to make was not because they are that hard to make, but simply because I did not have them unlocked in the Thaumanomicon to be able to craft them on the Arcane Workbench. So now that I know that, I think if we just bust out some research, we should be good to go and able to make some good stuff. So I will be back in a moment to tell you what progress I made over the next 10-20 minutes. And just another quick note. So one of the reasons I was also shying away from this, because I wasn't quite sure what was going on, is that I wasn't exactly sure what to do with all this stuff. I don't know how to get these advanced crystals exactly, but I can do things like make mine carts with TNT. So again, I've sort of been shying away from this kind of crap just because I didn't want to craft a bunch of things, or I should say I shied away from this early on in this mod pack because whipping out mine carts with TNT was not something I wanted to spend my resources on when I had so much tech stuff to do. But now that I have all the resources that I could probably want for most things that aren't in game, whipping out some mine carts with TNT is no big deal at all. So I can start doing some of these. 21 points in Artifice is very nice. So I'm going to give that a shot. So between throwing just tons of paper and ink at this and going ahead and making the things that I can make to use some of these instead of just scrapping the theory, I should be able to bust out some good theory research here. So back in a moment. All right, so another quick note. I'm still trying to change my mindset from being sort of an old school vanilla player to an expert. Try and get into this whole expert frame of mind. So I was sitting here doing this research and I hit a spot where it's like I've already got 58% towards Artifice. And I've got the opportunity here with some stellar Eastern Quadrant notes and some lunar waxing crescent notes to get another 25 to 50 towards Artifice, which gives me a good chance of getting a level of Artifice here. But then I was stymied because I did not have the only lunar notes I had was waning gibbous, and it was just nighttime. And I went out and got it, and of course all I got was more waning gibbous. So I sort of didn't want to scrap this. And then I thought, well, dummy, there's nothing that says you can't have more research tables. So I have now made a second research table, and I can make it a third, fourth, fifth, and sixth research table if I want. And I can just start working on a different one here. And, you know, Ordo and Perdicio, I can actually do that. So I can work on these, and if I come across one that I can't do now, but I still want to try and complete, just make another damn research table because I'm an expert and I can do that. I got all the damn treated wood I want and all the scribing tools and all the paper I want, really. So why not? So we're going to grab some Ordo here. So that is one nice thing for me waiting until I get to in-game to try and work on this stuff is that I can just sort of bowl my way through it because I do have tons of resources now. So if I want to pull out an Ordo and Viz Crystal and do that, now I'm a good way towards getting some decent stuff there. And now here I'm at this, and I need some full and some waning gibbous. I do have waning gibbous. I do not have full on this one. It wants Desiderium Viz Crystal, which I don't have one of those. I'm not exactly sure how to get one. But now if I really want to, I can just wait until I get some full lunar notes and come back and do this. And I probably will because I actually really want to get some more alchemy research. So what am I going to do? I'm going to build another damn table because that's just not that hard to do. All it is some treated wood, and I've got all the treated wood I need. So that's not a problem. So I say that, and of course I don't have any treated wood. But I do have creosote, or I have a tank with some creosote in it. So I have 3 full tanks of creosote here. So if I do that, and then grab some wood planks. As I said, I have got plenty of treated wood. So now I can do some slabs. In fact, I think I'm going to make 2 orders of slabs. And now I can make a wood table. In fact, I think I'm going to make 3 or 4 wood tables because now I'm in the mood to bash through this, and I may as well. And then I need some scribing tools, which I don't have any, but I can make more of. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what the heck is that? Permutatio of this crystal. Wonder where that came from. Maybe I got it as a reward from one of these researches. I don't know. So I'm just going to throw down another wood table, and I'm going to throw another one of those on it. And I'm going to throw another stack of paper in it. And I'm just going to keep right on busting through this research. And if I get to a place where I've got a good research going, but I need to wait for a moon cycle or something to actually finish up, well, so be it. So again, this just comes from me trying to think more about, like, hey, what is really slowing me down here? And is it really necessary that it slows me down, or can I just bowl through it with the resources that I have? I'm not really used to thinking about that because since I've never done this, I've never had tier 5 void miners and laser drill miners and the ability to, vein mine entire huge redwood forests for stuff, and I've never really had that capability, so I'm not used to thinking about things in this way of like, hey, let's go ahead and just make all the research tables and let's just sort of bust out some damn research. So again, I sort of would like to get some more artifice. Just sort of show you how I'm going through this. Air and Perdicio, that's going to gain me 40 alchemy. I would like to get some alchemy, but I also want 17 artifice. And then I run into this stuff. I don't have any of those. But again, all I'm wasting is a little bit of time and paper and ink, which I've got tons of. So scrap that, start over. Some random stuff, okay. I don't think I have any solar celestial notes, but I might. Ignis and Ordo for 40 alchemy. Sure, I'll do that. And I'm going to watch this time to see if I get a reward out of this that is a combination of those two. So right now all I've got is an Ordo and an Ignis here. And so now this Potentia Viz crystal showed up. So that's actually good news. I got to figure out if I can do that on purpose somewhere to get more of these crystals to better do this research. Like for instance here, if I could make a Lux and a Herba, I could do that. So I do need some more artifice. So I'm going to go ahead and get the, grab a hopper, let it consume that. So that's going to be a chest, some iron plates. Mythos, Victus, and Spiritus. See, this is the problem I keep running into. It's like I start, especially if I'm intentionally trying to go after alchemy. You may have noticed, but when I started this, I pushed the, I highlighted the Crucible as a research aid, which is why I'm getting some of these, but I'm not exactly sure how to intentionally make these. Mythos and Victus and Viz. So for right now, I'm just going to scrap that, and maybe I'll stop pushing this and just sort of do things more basic here. Just try and pick things that don't require .33 Oromancy. Do I want 33 Oromancy? Yeah, sure. It's a lot easier to complete things, but I have a tendency to get more oromancy than I really want. I'd like to get some artifice, some alchemy, and some infusing. Yes, please, on the easy calibrates. Gain 19 artifice for a thermometer. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I can make a new thermometer, and that should guarantee me of getting some artifice, which I think I needed. Alright, so you guys don't want to watch me do this for an hour, but I just thought I think the important thing I want to communicate to myself when I watch this back 2 or 3 years from now, the next time I go on a Minecraft spree, is to just go ahead and think big. Just go ahead and say, hey, you know what? Why not make 6 research tables so that if we have to, we can, pause in one and do the rest. Unfortunately, now I need to make a new thermometer so I can go out and scan the moon. Anyway, I think we'll call it an episode here. This sort of shows you what I'm doing. When I was out scanning the moon to see if I could get the right phase of the moon I needed, I did notice a golem out wandering around and tried to scan it with the thermometer, and it didn't work. So I actually bothered to stop and read the instructions. When it says, just stacking a few blocks together in the right pattern will cause them to transform into semi-sentient animated golems. How is this possible? Blah, blah, blah. I should study the phenomenon more closely. It's possible that I have to actually make a golem or something and scan it. Because trying to scan the golem in the wild did not seem to do anything. So I will continue to search on that. I think there are some recipes for making golems somewhere. I don't know. I'll find it. Anyway, we'll research that. So I'm going to continue to bash away at opening up stuff in my Thaumcraft book so that we can move forward on our chapters. And next episode, I'll show you how far I got. And hopefully we'll be able to get some more stuff done. Thanks for watching. Bye.